The time has come, as promised, for tonight's Newsom Watch, our regular check-in on the California governor who insists he is not running for president. And tonight, he is sitting down with Chris Cuomo to clear the air once and for all.
The vice president, Kamala Harris, polling is nowhere. You say she's the absolute best person to be vice president.
Of course she is.
On what basis?
On the basis of being able to lay claim to the success and the record of the Biden administration. You can't claim that. I can't claim that. It's the Biden-Harris administration. She gets to talk about the 13.5 million jobs. She gets to talk about $1.7 trillion reduction in the deficit and $1 trillion as part of the debt deal. She gets to talk about the success of the Infrastructure Act and the CHIPS and Science Act. She gets to talk about the bipartisan deal-making of this administration because she's a member of the administration.
You think she strengthens the ticket? She doesn't weaken the ticket?
I think by definition, she has the ability as a member of the administration to make the case better than any other Democrat.
All right. You were across from him, Chris. What do you think?
No lose for Governor Gavin Newsom. Being supportive beyond even rationality of the president and the vice president. That's being a good team player. Can't fault him for that. Highly unusual for a politician, even in party of his stature, to be as heavy-handed in their advocacy this early on, even more so than the candidate himself. There's only one downside to what the governor's doing, is that in being so forceful that he's not running, what if this was his best window? What if 4 years from now, it's a complete mob fest on the Democratic side, and he doesn't rise up the way he is right now in the eyes of a lot of Democrats? You've seen the polling. That's the risk. That's the risk.
Well, let me just turn this around on you. Trying to primary Joe Biden at this very moment, right? We said this is a little bit like 1968 when Lyndon Johnson dropped out just after Bobby Kennedy got in. That was in March. He's doing everything he needs to do to run for president. He's traveling the country. He's fundraising. He's growing his PAC. He's doing everything but saying he's running for president. If he was running for president, isn't this the playbook that anybody would give him? Is be overly supportive, be overly enthusiastic so that he is the heir apparent if Joe Biden steps down? And really, I mean, despite what he said, nobody thinks Kamala Harris would be the heir apparent for 2024. Nobody.
Well, he's definitely playing in a good way if Joe Biden steps away. But if Joe Biden does not step away, then he has said, I'm not running against him, and you can't laud the man, lionize the man the way that Newsom is, and then try to draw comparisons with him. We'd kill you for that. So he's making a bet that my time isn't now, my time is the next time. That's just a dicey proposition in politics. You don't know how things are going to change. He's got momentum right now. But I will tell you this. He said something I've heard no one else say, and I think it's an important thing for him to continue saying. We made mistakes during the pandemic. If I could do it again, I would do a lot of things differently. And he articulates why that is. Nobody does that. Everybody's afraid of weakness and how it's perceived.
I mean, he was the guy who did things differently for himself, right? He was the guy eating at the French Laundry while everybody else was in masks,
but look, I gotta
and told
tell
not
you,
to go out of their house.
Yes,
and else.
but you know what? You know, so often in politics, the basis of criticism is so petty and self-serving. You know, there are a lot of people who lay out policies who don't follow those same policies every way. You think every politician who drives always goes the speed limit? You know, so he got caught at the fundraiser. He shouldn't have been there. It was stupid. Yeah. But the idea that you're wrong to tell me to wear a mask unless you wear one every second of every day, that's asking a little bit too much as well. But that's politics. But he's well positioned, and he has distanced himself through his advocacy from the entire rest of the field. Nobody can step in and advocate for Biden the way he is now because he already claimed the top spot as being the biggest booster.
Well, and he also has now this enormous national platform, right? You know, there's a vacuum. There's nobody from the Biden administration will come out on your show or my show or anybody else and defend the Biden administration. Joe Biden won't sit down for an interview with anybody.
Yeah, which I think is a huge problem. And I'll tell you what, to your earlier question, do you know who should be playing the role of Gavin Newsom right now? Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
Why isn't Kamala Harris?
Well.
She should be blanketing the airways the same way. She should be out there making the case, not ducking questions.
All right, we got to run. Hey, awesome interview. I got to see some clips. It's exciting. It's coming up 10 minutes away. Congratulations. Really important interview, and those clips are going to matter for years to come. So thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.